How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddison Hill, and yes, it's time for another Pop Off with Maddison. For today's Pop Off, you guys, we're going to be talking about Kylie Jenner and Timothee Chalamet because honestly, there's been a lot of tea about these two here and there, and I think it's time we put it all together for a Pop Off. There's a report about Kylie's sisters feeling like Timothee is giving red flags. We've heard that Kylie Jenner is allegedly talking babies with Timothee Chalamet. And then for my happy hour hang people, don't worry, I have some fresh tea for you too, because we also have this new report from Entertainment Tonight, you guys, that's giving us some insight into where exactly Kylie and Timothee are right now. And I'll be honest, I think they're a little more serious than we all originally thought. And I'm not gonna lie, this report is also giving damage control a little bit when it comes to how Kylie's family feels about Timothee. Basically, you get it. We have a lot of Kylie and Timmy tea that we need to get into, but first, because this is the first pop-up of the week, you know, I have to check in and see how the House of Hill is doing, so let me know how you are, what you've been up to, all of that good stuff down below. Me personally, you guys, I know if you've been watching the lives, we've been checking in a couple times this week, but I never, ever want to forget my pop-off people, because I know some of you don't love the lives, you prefer videos, so I definitely still wanted to do a little check-in. Me personally, you guys, I've been having a pretty good week. I've been trying to push myself and go live on TikTok more, so if you're on TikTok, please follow me, please come hang out. It's definitely pushing me outside of my comfort zone because TikTok intimidates me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just trying to push myself, I'm trying to grow. You guys know I've been saying 2024 is the year of the House of Hill, so I really want to make sure I'm trying to push myself. I also know I owe you guys some memory lane videos and cheaper cheers. I never want you to think that I've forgotten that. It is constantly in the back of my mind. It is on the to-do list up here. So I just wanted to make that clear because I never want anyone to feel like I'm neglecting just standalone videos. Okay, before I start spiraling in my brain over what I have on my to-do list and what's crossed off and what's not, I know you straight to the T people are like, Maddison, you teased babies, red flags, and a serious update about Kylie and Timothee Chalamet. Go ahead and help out your fellow straight to the T people by dropping this time code down there in the comments. And now let's get to unwrapping these Kylie Jenner and Timothee Chalamet facts. Okay, so as you all know, Kylie Jenner and Timothee Chalamet have been linked for a little over a year now. News broke in April of last year that these two were dating, and because they've now reached that over the year mark, and because this has gone on longer than we all predicted initially, I think that's why now there is a lot of attention on their current status. While we previously had a report from Us Magazine where a source shared that Kylie and Timothee were busy and they were just seeing each other whenever they had time, this week we've definitely gotten the impression that things between Kylie and Timothee are more serious than we all thought. First up, you guys, we have this recent report from Life and Style magazine where a source shared that Kylie Jenner has spoken to Timothee Chalamet about having children together. Now, I know some of you saw my YouTube short on this topic and thought that this was absolutely insane. I also know some of you are probably seeing this for the first time and saying, Maddison, this headline is crazy. Why are you even discussing this? And while I know Life and Style magazine headlines sometimes feel like a lot, what I feel like we do best here in the House of Hill is we sift through the tea. And I'm telling you, once you do that on some of these reports, you'll really get down to the goods. So in this first report that we're going to discuss, you guys, a source shared that Kylie and Timothee are not just a fling and that they have genuine feelings for one another. This insider went on to say that Timothee, quote, really admires how calm and self-assured Kylie is. And it sounds like Kylie also admires Timothee, you guys, because the source went on to say, quote, Kylie thinks Timothee would make a great dad and has even asked him about starting a family together. This insider shared that Timothee was taken aback at first and thought Kylie was kidding, but no. They then ended their insider info saying, quote, while he loves kids, he's going to need time to think this over. Okay, well, I really want to pop off about this right this instance because let's be real, YouTube Shorts do not give me enough time to really divulge all my thoughts. I'm gonna continue on because there's more tea that we have to get into. Because while Kylie might allegedly see long-term potential with Timothee Chalamet, according to another new report, her sisters aren't quite seeing the same thing. So you guys, in another new report from Life and Style magazine, a separate source went into detail about how Kylie's sisters feel like Timothee is stringing her along. This insider said, quote, Timothee is obviously enjoying himself with Kylie, but when it comes to getting to know her family, he's put in almost no effort and doesn't seem to want to. The source noted that yes, Timothee does come to the occasional dinner or family gathering. We all know that Timothee Chalamet was clearly at the Kardashians' Easter, thanks to Instagram stories, but this allegedly took a huge effort on Kylie's part. This insider also said that whenever Timothee does come around, he spends the majority of his time talking to Kylie and, quote, practically ignores the rest of them. Kylie's sisters are allegedly telling her this is a quote huge red flag, and that if he were serious about her long term, he'd be making more of an effort with them. This source said that Timothee gives some of the Jenner sisters the impression he thinks quote they're beneath him, which they allegedly find insulting. They reportedly have been telling Kylie he's quote just using her for a good time. Now, because of the sisters trying to meddle their way into Kylie's relationship, the source has now added that Kylie is keeping the details of her and Timothy's relationship to herself. This source ended their insider info saying, quote, she insists the best way for her to protect what she has with Timothy is to keep him away from all the drama that usually follows Kardashian men. I mean, we all know that drama and Kardashian men are basically simpatico at this point. But continuing on, you guys. Now, Kylie keeping things low-key with Timothée Chalamet and keeping things to herself is something I definitely believe, because there was a similar sentiment echoed in this new Entertainment Tonight report. And like I said, if you've been watching the happy hour hangs, this is where the fresh tea is going to come in for you. This Entertainment Tonight source noted that Kylie and Timothée like to keep their relationship under the radar in order to feel some sense of normalcy. This insider said, quote, they both want to have a mature relationship where they aren't constantly in the public eye. They know that's not always feasible, but they both make an effort to respect each other's privacy. This source also mentioned that Kylie and Timothée like to have their alone time, and then this is where that little bit of damage control comes in. Let me know what you guys think. This source specifically mentioned that in addition to spending their alone time together, Kylie and Timothée, quote, spend time with Kylie's family and each other's friends. I thought that was an interesting point to mention. The source also said that they like to cook at home, go to dinners, travel when they can, play board games, and that they are their authentic selves when it's just the two of them. This insider said, quote, they're both honest with each other and there isn't any void of communication. The report then concludes that Kylie and Timothée do have potential to get more serious, as the source said that Timothée is, quote, balanced, dedicated, successful, and a family man. Keyword family man, no one forget that. The source then noted that Kylie's friends and family love how he treats her and that he loves her so much. The source ended their insider info saying, quote, things are blossoming between them more and more every day. Okay, I have so many thoughts about all of this and this Entertainment Tonight report, because again, while I know people like to disregard certain outlets, I honestly feel like this ET report is giving us some clarity on other pieces of tea we've heard this week, and I cannot wait to finally give you guys all my thoughts. So let's go ahead and make this pop-up official and get to that shambong. Just the baby one because I still have to work out. Okay, you guys, so one of the reasons I do like doing these pop-offs where we kind of put all of the tea together that we've been hearing is because it also gives me more clarity on the situation. And I'll be honest with you guys, after taking a look at all of the recent tea we've been hearing about Kylie and Timothée Chalamet, I'm now starting to think they're more serious than I previously thought. And dare I say, I think these two are even more serious than they tend to show. From the beginning, these two have tried to keep their relationship incredibly private. I mean, remember when we heard about them having dates in the literal car so nobody would see them? Because that's something that sticks out in my mind personally. But I do feel like they've tried to keep things under wraps. And even when they have been seen out in public, I do feel like those public outings are very much in their control. I mean, think about it. The last public outing we saw them on was that very low-key movie date where they're wearing hats, they're wearing masks. And before that, the last public outing was the Golden Globes, which again was very much in their control. But after the Golden Globes, if you guys remember, nobody was talking about Timothée Chalamet's acting accolades after that night. All anyone was talking about was him and Kylie's PDA, which we heard a report about how Timothy's family did not like that after the Golden Globes. And I think Kylie also recognizes that that's not necessarily what Timothée wants, because like that Life and Style magazine report said, she doesn't want any of the drama that typically follows Kardashian men to follow Timothée. And if I can be honest with you guys, I really do actually believe that. I've always personally felt like Kylie, and honestly Kendall too, that those two really have never fully bought into the family's fame, or at least they haven't bought into the family fame as much as the older sisters. And we all know Kylie has said in the past that eventually she wants to move away, she wants to live on a farm, she wants to get away from all of this craziness. So that's why I do think Kylie has at least a little awareness of the fact that she doesn't necessarily want this life all the time, and because Timothée does have a serious acting career and she does care about him, she doesn't want all of that media frenzy to be his new narrative and his new defining factor. Now, as far as that report about Kylie Jenner allegedly wanting babies with Timothée Chalamet, as I previously said, I know that that headline sounds outrageous, and I don't disagree. But again, like I've said each time that we've talked about this report, as a mom, I truly don't think Kylie would date anyone who she didn't see as having father potential. Again, she already has 2 children, so anyone who she is seriously dating is likely going to be around her kids at some point. So I don't think she would date anyone who she wouldn't trust around her kids and who she wouldn't see as a potential stepfather figure. And I'll be honest with you guys, I now feel even more confident in feeling that way after hearing that Entertainment Tonight report. Because again, if Kylie's people are describing Timothée Chalamet as being a quote family man, and they're saying that is one of his notable qualities, that is something that Kylie appreciates in him, then again, it makes me feel more confident in feeling this way. Now, do I feel like Kylie wants babies tomorrow with Timothée Chalamet? Absolutely not. Do I think Timothée was probably a little shook when Kylie casually mentioned this? Yes, he's a 28-year-old actor. You think this man wants to be a dad right now? No freaking way. They're absolutely not having babies anytime freaking soon. But do I think that it's been mentioned? Yes. Do I think someone overheard this being mentioned and sold the story to Life and Style magazine? Yes. That's how this tea ecosystem works, and honestly, I love it, you guys. I really do. Now, as far as Kylie's sisters allegedly feeling some type of way towards Timothée because he's not always bending over backwards to get to know them better at every family get-together, we did discuss this on our live happy hour hang, and a lot of us thought that this report was specifically pointing at Kim and Khloe. Again, I feel like Kendall keeps her love life private and close to her chest as well, so I don't really think it would bother her if Timothée wasn't trying to get to know her very well. Plus, we've already heard that Kendall and Timothée are friends. That's how Kylie and Timothée got together in the first place, so I'm not thinking Kendall's included here. And Kourtney is very much living her own best life with Travis, but Kim, I do believe, would feel some type of way if somebody wasn't trying to suck up to her, especially because Kim is trying to be in her acting era. So a very talented actor not trying to suck up to her, I feel like that would bother her just a little bit. And Khloe, we know family is so important to her. So I do believe if Khloe feels like people aren't trying to integrate themselves wholeheartedly into the family, she would be a little cautious. However, I think it's important that we got to sift through the tea here, because remember, it's not like that source was saying Timothée never comes around, he never talks to anyone. The source said he does come to some family dinners, he does come to some family gatherings. It's just that he's not sucking up to everybody who's there. And while I do think they're trying to paint that in a negative light, I think this Entertainment Tonight report did just enough damage control for that situation. Because again, that source mentioned that Timothée does like to spend time with Kylie's family and friends. And I also thought it was a little damage control tea when this source mentioned that Kylie's family and friends love how he treats her. That doesn't negate what that Life and Style magazine source was saying. I think Kylie's sisters could still feel some type of way about Timothée not really trying to get to know them, but they could also still appreciate that he does treat her well and that she really likes him and he really likes her. And if I'm being honest, what I overall think about Kylie, Timothée, and the family situation, I do think him not being very chatty would bother Kim and Khloe on some level. And do I believe that they would say something to Kylie about it? 1,000,000%. But do I think Kylie hears all of that and says, okay, and then just decides to keep things more private and to herself? 1,000,000%. That's my overall thoughts on Timothy's relationship with the Kardashians. But as far as what I think about Kylie and Timothée and their relationship, if they really are spending all of that time one-on-one with one another and they really feel like they can be their authentic selves around one another, there must be something pretty special there. You guys know I've always questioned what in the world Kylie and Timothée talk about when they're by themselves. I've said 1,000,000 times I would love to be a fly on the wall, but clearly they must have enough in common because it sounds like they're making it work and it's working really well. Now, I'm still not convinced that they have like lifetime potential, you guys, but it sounds like they definitely have happy in the moment potential. I say if they're having fun, enjoying one another's company, their support for one another, then go off. I think that's fabulous. You guys know me, I'm never gonna hate on a couple if they're happy and thriving, but now that you know my thoughts, you guys, I am dying to know yours. You guys, please let me know all your thoughts on Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet down below. While you guys are at it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget that notification bell. For more content, make sure you guys are following me over on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, don't forget to keep coming back to my channel to check out my YouTube shorts. If you guys want to show me a little extra love or you just want to make sure I see your comment, don't forget you can also hit that super thanks button down below. I also want to remind you guys that I now have a channel membership. You can easily join the membership by going to my channel homepage, and with the membership, you get access to an exclusive members only live on Tuesdays at noon Pacific Standard Time. You also get access to a members only video every single Friday. So for those of you who don't love lives but who love videos, join the membership because you get a guaranteed video every single Friday. You also get access to our House of Hill group chat over on Discord, and your name is highlighted. That way your comments can be prioritized. Definitely check out the channel membership. I have a goal of hitting 200 members before the end of the year, so definitely check it out. You guys know you can also check out all of my merch over at my merch store at houseofhill.com. And on that note, you guys, I'll see y'all next time.